Hello, welcome to Chris's Magic. Thank you so much for watching. This week, no trick, it's tutorial week. So I put a poll out yesterday on Twitter and YouTube. Thank you to everybody who voted. The majority wins, and the majority was a shuffle/cut tutorial. So that's what we're going to do today. Teach you how to do a shuffle and a cut. Rather than choose one or the other, I'll show you how to do both. So these are a shuffle and a cut that will change the card position. So it's not one that controls the card position. So it's just your normal standard shuffle and cut when you open a pack of deck and you want to change the order. So I'll show you both. If you like the tutorial, please leave a like on the video. Also subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell if you haven't done so already. And please add any comments or suggestions in the comment section. Really, really helps. So here we are. I'll show you how to do them, what they look like first. So here's the overhand shuffle. Like so. And here's the swing cut. There we go. So they're what they look like, the overhand shuffle and the swing cut. So let's get into the tutorial. First off, the overhand shuffle. So there's a few ways that you can do this. You can either have it in this kind of dealer's grip in the kind of non-dealing hand, if you like. I'm right-handed. Well, I'm left-handed, so that's how I normally hold the cards. So right hand, the opposite hand. So you've got your pointer finger, middle finger, ring finger on the outer edge, the shortest edge that's facing away from your body. Your middle finger, let me start again. Your index finger can either be loose or it can be on the side, although I have it loose because when you're actually doing the shuffle, you want it loose because you don't want it there because it's going to stop the cards being dealt. But you can have it there just for at this moment when you're holding it like this, just a bit more stability. And your thumb is on the thin inside edge, which will be nearer your body. And your other hand is curled up like this. So you've got a curl up here of all your fingers. That is essentially a kind of catcher's mitt. So it's going to stop the cards from falling onto the table or on the floor if you're standing up. And your thumb is loose for the moment. We'll be using that a bit later. And the position that you want is kind of here. Because what's going to happen is you're going to flick them up. So your fingers here are going to push up and your thumb is then going to grip the top half. So they're in this position here. And the main hand that you were using before is free. And then what you're going to do when you're in this position is go back to that position. So, but then grip them with this hand as well. So your pointer finger, middle finger, ring finger are on the edge facing away from your body. Index finger is free and your thumb is on the inner edge facing your body. And you're just going to rest them on your fingers or push your fingers up a little bit on the other hand. Let me move this hand. So here, so they can't fall anywhere. And your thumb acts as a kind of a brake as well, so they can't just flop back into your hand. So that's the first part that you can do. Or you can start in mechanics grip like this. So that's where your thumb is on the edge facing away from you, the longer edge. Your three fingers, your middle finger, ring finger, index finger are on the edge facing away to the right. And your index, your pointer finger is on the edge facing away from your body. And then what you're going to do is put your pointer finger underneath. You still have these three connecting the side because they're going to act as the barrier to stop them falling. And you just push up, you grip them with these three fingers, push up with your pointer finger. And when they're in position, you grip them with your thumb. And then your other hand goes into the position earlier. So three fingers on the top, thumb on the bottom, and you're ready to begin. And then the shuffle is literally using your thumb on the hand that's gripping them as the kind of basket and catcher. You're going to take chunks off of the top of the deck, which in this case is facing to my left because I'm holding this with my right hand and this is my left hand. And you're just going to take them off, and as they clear the deck, they will naturally fall to your right hand side towards the deck. But because you've got these three fingers here, they'll stop them falling onto the table, and you just repeat that process like so. And you can see that the index finger here is free, because if you've got it down there, you're not going to be able to pull cards down. And you just continue this process, and you can either have all 3 fingers on this side, or you can have 2. You could probably also have 1. It's just personal preference how you find it more comfortable. So I've got 3 there, I've got 1 there, I've got 2 there. And you just do that until you reach the end. And when you get to the last pile, you can either drag them all down like this, or, let me do this quickly, when you get to the end, or you can either drag them all down, or you can just chuck them on top, square them up, and then that's them shuffled. I'll show you from the top. So again, this grip here, put them in position, grab them again, get them into this position, so these fingers curled round and the thumb on top, and drag them down. And you can see the positions of the cards are changing, because the king of spades is there and a card goes on top of it like so, and then we just chuck them on the end. So yeah, just to recap, you have this position here. This is the main position that you've got, the 3 fingers on the top, thumb on the bottom of the thin sides, which are facing away and towards you, index finger free, your other hand curled up, the 4 fingers curled up, thumb free, and you get them into position so they're in the crooks of your kind of knuckles here. And this is the main grip, so your thumb on the long inner edge, your other 4 fingers gripped round the other edge and onto the bottom of the deck. Then you take your other hand back into the normal grip that I showed you earlier, which is the grip that you'd be placing them on if you were doing that. And you're ready to begin. And then you just use your thumb on the hand that's the basket kind of hand, the catcher hand, to drag chunks down, let them fall onto the resting fingers, and repeat that process like so. And then chuck the last remaining parts on, and then you've shuffled the deck in an overhand shuffle. And it'll be a practice kind of thing, so I'd start off slow, so slow like this, just get a feel of them, and then as you get used to it, then you can do them quickly like so. So that is the overhand shuffle. Hope you like that tutorial. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Now the swing cut. So like I showed you, let's just recap. The swing cut is this. So here's the tutorial. So you're in exactly the same position as the shuffle. So the 3 fingers on the top, the index finger loose, the thumb on the middle. And what you're going to do is take off your pointer finger. So you're like this, take off your pointer finger, and you're going to just pick up half the deck, or however many you want. So you're going to flick off cards. So as you come halfway down and move your finger towards yourself, you're going to get a natural break there of 2 cards. And this is the first section, the top section, that's the bottom section. And all you're doing with your finger is moving it to the side. And because your thumb is resting down here, this will act as a pivot. And then you'll split them like so, if you can see that. So, like I said, this is the normal position. And you can either take your finger off, which is what I'd suggest when you're starting this, just to get used to the action. But when you become a bit more familiar with it, you'll be able to just kind of riffle them off like this and then make that break. But I'll show you with taking the finger off. So you've got all 3 fingers on, take it off, get to about halfway. So you can see there, my finger isn't all the way along. So there's a few cards there that aren't contacted by that finger. And then you just pull back with that finger towards yourself, and you'll get a natural break. Swing it over, because your thumb is acting as a pivot, as you can see there. And swing them over, put those into your other hand, into mechanics grip like this. This is the top half. And then what you do on the remaining half is you just put them on the top and then put them down on the table. And that is the cut. So Just to recap again. So you're in this grip, thumb innermost side, other 3 fingers on the outermost side, the short sides, index finger away. Take your pointer finger off, break some of the cards off by, so originally you're all the way over, so all the cards are contacted. Make sure half aren't, pull back, and your thumb also acts as a lever so they don't go anywhere. And when you're from here, move your finger to the left, which will be, you maybe want it in that half, and what you can also do is take the middle finger off at this point, because you can see here it's connecting with my finger there. So if you take that off, it's completely free. So you break some off, take the middle finger off, and then move them across. Your thumb acts as a pivot here, so it's curving round like so. If you didn't have your thumb, they'd just, well, you have to have your thumb, otherwise the whole thing would fall down. But yeah, so break some off. You can either, you don't have to take this off, it's just easier, I find. But when you're learning, I'd suggest keeping it on. Move them across, and because you've got that break, you can reach this hand in between the break and take that top half, take that to the side. And then with the hand that was originally holding the deck, you just plop them on top of that and then cut them. So you can see here, top card is 2 of clubs. So I'm in this grip here. I'm going to take this off, pull up to create that break, and move that finger to the left. The thumb acts as a pivot. I can take this deck, put it into mechanics grip, take this half, put it onto the top, and that top card goes from the 2 of clubs to the 10 of clubs. So that is it pretty much. And when you've done it, mastered it, you can speed it up and put them down on the table like so. So like so. And you could also do it onto the table like that, rather than just in your hands when you get a bit more familiar with it. So get the break, pivot them over. Let me do that again because I dropped one. Get the break, pivot them over, take it into your hand, drop the hand that you've just transferred onto the table, put the rest on top. And quickly that will look like this. And like so. So that is a tutorial for the overhand shuffle and the swing cut. I hope that was helpful. I hope it wasn't too convoluted and was easy to follow. It's only the 3rd tutorial I've done, so I'm still learning on that one. But please let me know what you thought of it, whether good or bad, any improvements, and let me know if it was something that you could follow and if you've been able to do them. It would be really great to see people who have been able to do them let me know that the tutorial was helpful. And please hit the like, please hit the subscribe and the notification bell. I'll be back next week. It'll be a trick next week. Thanks so much for watching and see you next week.